Good evening. Welcome to the 44th episode of Rachel Pilcher Writing Workshops Live. Thank you for joining me tonight. I am super excited to talk about tonight's episode. I think I've said that before, but I'm very excited about this one. We are concluding our series for the NaNoWriMo Prep, supporting your writing goals. But before we get to that, let me just make one quick announcement. If you watched last week, you know that we have the launch already set up for Panther City Review Issue 4. That is coming up on November the 16th. So if you are in the North Texas area and you can swing by Fort Worth from 4 o'clock to 5:30 p.m. On November the 16th at Leaves Book and Tea on St. Louis Avenue in Fort Worth. We will be doing the launch there. So what goes on at a launch? Well, we have readings from the writers of this issue, and we will have copies available for purchase through Leaves, and you'll be able to get autographs of some great up-and-coming and already doing fairly well writers. So definitely put it on your schedule. Come and join us. There will be an event page going up soon. I'm hoping by the end of this week. I'm going to be working this week with Tina over at Leaves to get that promotional stuff up and going. So be on the lookout. I will definitely make sure that there is a link posted, and probably by next Sunday I will be pushing it hard. Not that this isn't a hard push, but please put it on your schedule to come out and join us on November 16th. Now, the topic of tonight. So we are going to go over sessions 5 and 6 from the NaNo Prep 101 handbook, which if you haven't already found it, or if you're just now discovering this, you can get the NaNo Prep 101 handbook over on NaNoWriMo.org. That's NaNoWriMo.org. You'll sign up for a free account. There's lots of great resources that are in there. They have forums, all kinds of stuff that you can do to set up your challenge for NaNoWriMo. For this year, it's National Novel Writing Month, if you don't know what NaNoWriMo is. And what I've been doing over the past 5 weeks is going through the handbook and kind of giving you my spin on what they're asking and what they're looking for and how to get the prep going. So tonight, we're doing sessions 5 and 6. We're combining 2 sessions because they're so closely related to one another. I just thought it would be easy. Plus, everything starts in 5 days. I'm not going to get to talk to y'all for another, a couple days before this actually starts. So 5 days, we can get this going. So tonight, we're pages 42 through 50. So that's not very many pages. That's 8 pages. So we can knock this out very quickly. So for session 5, what they're focusing on for session 5 is organizing your life to support your writing goals. And I really like these sessions, these 2 sections in particular, because it's a lot of the stuff that I try to prep y'all on doing anyway. So this is going to sound sort of repetitive, but in a way I kind of look at it as, well, it justifies what I've been saying. So the first thing that they have is they have a checklist of items that will probably be neglected if you're really focusing on writing your 50,000 words for the month of November. So some of those would be like meal planning, trying to get ahead on that, household chores, pre-planning the big holiday events. So like Thanksgiving is the very last week of NaNoWriMo, so that really puts a damper on it. I don't know if they were planning that whenever they started doing this in the month of November, or if they just thought, oh, well, people are going to have time off. They'll have plenty of time to do work on a novel that they're trying to finish the last week of November. So the important thing that you'll need to do is that you open up your calendar, look at what you have coming up, and start taking care of the things that would probably bother you if you were sitting down writing and you're thinking, oh, well, I probably need to defrost the turkey. So definitely take care of that stuff. So make sure that you're getting things down. The next thing that they are trying to emphasize for you, and I think that it is extremely important to do, is to explain to the important people in your life, whether it's your family, your friends, your significant others, your children, your pets. They don't listen as well, but explain to them that you're going to need some alone time to be able to get your writing done. And as we go further along, you'll find maybe it's not as much alone time as you think. But, you know, for those of us that are not full-time writers, that we are doing this on a part-time basis, hoping to get a full-time gig someday, you know, it's really important that you do, that you are able to get that time in, and that the people that you care about, that care about you, know that you need to get that work in. So that's one of the things that they have. They have a great infographic on page 45 that you can share with these people that care about you and that care about you doing things that you want to do and that you care about, of things that they can do to help you with your progress. So some of it can be, you know, like cheerleading, congratulating you on meeting certain milestones, helping around your house, perhaps preparing dinner for you or bringing takeout or something. And just celebrating, like I said, I like the celebrating things. Like, yay, you made it. It's halfway through. You're at this word count. Let's go. Congratulations. So that's a really cool little handout. You should definitely share that with your significant other, your friends and family, so that they can know what to expect and to be there for you while you're doing that. So the last thing that they suggest in session 5 is that you write a letter to those who would support you on as to how you'd love their support, and maybe list some of those things that they can do to help you out. And you know, that could be I would think that would be kind of tricky, like, you know, it would really help if you picked up all the pecans in my backyard for me while I'm inside writing. But that's not on the list. That would be on my list, because I noticed when I went outside today that the pecans are already falling. And I started thinking, like, oh, I need to get out there and do that. Well, if I could get somebody else to do that while I'm writing, that would be awesome. But doing different things that that aren't that type of activity, but, you know, doing the things that are on that infographic list. So cheerleading you, celebrating what you're doing, helping out, various things like that. That is what you would put in the letter, and thanking them for their support kind of in advance, so that you know, they do understand that you really appreciate the work that they're doing to help you out through this. So session number 6 is titled Find, Schedule, and Manage Your Time. So if you notice that this is kind of going a little fast, you know, that's why I combined these. And they do work together. So find, schedule, and manage your time. Through this entire section, they have suggestions on how you can potentially get through every day writing for a good portion of the time, and meet your 50,000 word count at the end. So the first thing that they do is suggest that you get a calendar app, or that you have a paper calendar. I know I've showed way back my paper calendar that I have, but that you look at that calendar and you structure the times of day that the different blocks that you could use, and just know that your goal for the end of the day is 1,667 words. That will get you every single day, if you write that, to 50,000 words the last day of November, November 30th. So one of the suggestions that they have for that, to ensure that you do that, is to use the Pomodoro method. And if you don't know about the Pomodoro method, it's really kind of cool. It's basically a 30-minute block where you spend 25 minutes doing writing and furiously writing and getting as much writing done as you possibly can. And then you take a 5-minute break. And during that 5-minute break, you can do restroom, go around and pick up stuff around the house, do whatever it is that might distract you, make a cup of tea. Then whenever you get back to your desk, you can have your cup of tea and repeat. Start writing for 25 minutes. And the perfect thing to do is to use your phone, get your the timer going on your phone, and have it set where you can do timer 1 can be 25 minutes and timer 2 can be the 5, and then all you have to do is push that and then go. It breaks up the time quite a bit, and it makes it seem like you're not spending as much time, whereas you can spend, you know, an hour or 2 hours, but with a 5-minute break in between each 25-minute section, you can get it done. The next thing that they do is that they're calling it the weekend method, and it's where you do a few little writing bursts throughout the week, and during that time, you could do it for 40 minutes a couple of times, maybe like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, do a couple of 40-minute sprints. That's kind of what those are. They're writing sprints, and that 25-minute thing is also a sprint. But then on Saturday and Sunday, on your weekends, you split 6 hours through the weekend. So that can be 2 3-hour sessions, or you could do 3 2-hour sessions. And if you do that, that's one of the things I've been thinking about, and I know several writers that do this, and they successfully get through their first draft of their novel, and then they start working through their second draft, and they do most of their work on the weekends and just do huge chunks of time on the weekends, and their family is very forgiving and loving and helpful at making sure that things that you would normally do on the weekends get done during that time. And if you're me and I get up at 5:30, 6 o'clock, I try to get up earlier than that, but if I get up at 5:30 or 6 o'clock regularly on a weekday, what I can do is just say, you know what, I'm going to get up at the exact same time on Saturday and on Sunday. So if you're doing the 3 hours on Saturday, 3 hours on Sunday, then you can do like 6 to 9, and then you have the rest of your day. If you like going out and staying out until 3 o'clock in the morning on Friday night and Saturday night, 6 to 9 might not work unless, you're conscious at 3:15 and can do your 3 hours right there, and then go to bed at 6 and then sleep the rest of the day. I don't know very many people who successfully do that and actually get things written. So you can try it. I don't suggest you do it every weekend if you plan on doing all of your writing on the weekends. But huge blocks of time, it works. You can make that happen. The next section, they called it full speed ahead, and basically what that means is that you just plow through and you get it done. So you may do 2 30-minute sessions every day, and then make it a goal during that 30-minute session, during each 30-minute session, that you write 840 words during those times. The 840 words would actually get you over the amount that you would need for each day. And the great thing is, if you do that, you have to think about it as, yes, I'm plowing through and I'm getting 840 words in 30 minutes written, but remember that this is a month. This is trying to write a first draft in a month, and it is a rough first draft. 50,000 words is not going to be your final draft. Your final draft is going to be significantly longer than that, but this is not even looking at a final draft. And you don't read back, you don't edit, you just plow through, you get it done. One of the great things about doing the 2 30 minutes a day, and then making it your goal to have 840 words during each one of those 30-minute times, is that it's helping you develop a writing habit. And all the rest of those are also helping you develop a daily writing habit. Even the one where you're doing it on the weekends, that's developing a writing habit. It's just a writing habit that you do most of on a Saturday and a Sunday. And the final thing that they suggest is that you just try to find the time in the current schedule you have. And I think I kind of have a hybrid of that. I do that, but I also make a conscious effort during certain times of the day to do a certain amount, especially during November. I go through and I try to make sure that I am consciously making an effort to stop what I'm doing and to write. But throughout the rest of the year, I normally do it this way. So I just maximize the time that I have. So you can write 15 minutes at night, or 15 minutes in the morning, or 30 minutes in the morning, and then do several blocks of 5 to 10 minutes at a time throughout the day. So if you have a 30-minute, 45-minute lunch, you may be able to sit down and eat your lunch and do some writing while you're eating your lunch. If you most jobs don't have smoke breaks anymore, but if you have a job where you can actually take a break, I don't think they're called smoke breaks anymore, but you can during that time just kind of go off in a corner, get yourself mentally ready, and start writing. And do that for 5 or 10 minutes just to get a break, get away, not worry about what's going on with your work. And the goal should be for that to write fully at least 30 minutes a day. This may or may not get you to the 50,000 words, but it'll get you pretty close, and it may get you closer than you think, and it depends on exactly how much time that you have. I would do more than 30 minutes a day if you could, but you know, the best thing to do though is to look at your calendar and go, okay, when am I just sitting here not doing anything? I could be writing during that time. And that could be the best way to just make it happen for you. One of the things I do, and they suggested it in the workbook as well, is to use a small notebook or the notes section on your phone and jot down some ideas, dialogue that might come to your head, prompts that will help you get started whenever you do sit down to write. You can just pull that up and go, okay, this is where I am. This is what I need to do. This is how I need to get it make it happen. And that can help you add words. And, you know, I mean, it sounds a little contrived to say, okay, your goal is 50,000 words. We don't care what you write. But, you know, writing down 50,000 words in a month and have it have some sort of semblance of something that might have a story that could go together eventually, that is an amazing feat to be able to do. So I think that if you try one of these methods with everything else that we've been discussing over the previous 4 weeks, and this one being the 5th week, that you can be ready to get your first draft written in the month of November. And I kind of look at it, 50,000 words is a great idea. But if you get a draft written from beginning to the end, and there can be something that you can work with for a second draft, you've done an excellent job and you've gotten to where you need to be. So that's all I have on this. So good luck on your journey with NaNoWriMo for November. I'll be checking in each Sunday to kind of let you know how I'm doing, to see how you're doing. So if you're doing NaNoWriMo, feel free to make a comment down here somewhere, and I will check in with you and see how we're both doing. So I'll start that next Sunday. Next Sunday is November. This year's flying. This year's absolutely flying. So thank you for joining me for this 5-part series. If you've missed any of the previous discussions, you can find them. You can find all the videos on the Rachel Pilcher Writing Workshops Facebook page, or if you're watching on YouTube, they'll be located within the Rachel Pilcher Writing Workshops channel, which, if you're not on YouTube, or if you do YouTube, you can sign up. It's free to sign up, and you can subscribe to my channel for free. Most channels you can subscribe to for free. I know there's some paid content on YouTube. Mine is not paid content. There's a lot of people that don't have paid content. You're able to watch the videos, subscribe, and you'll get alerts on all of the content that may or may not be posted on Facebook. I know I'm going to have some YouTube only content pretty soon, so you should probably join and subscribe to my page on YouTube. If you found this information helpful, please feel free to share this video with your friends, other writers who you think might benefit from my words of advice, and definitely click the like button right over there. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you for joining me tonight. I look forward to seeing you next Sunday. We'll be doing a Nano check-in, and I'll have some other words of advice to talk about. But we'll be right here on the Rachel Pilcher Writing Workshops page for another writerly discussion. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Good night.